from each month of the year. So today there will be 12 movies I'll be going through. So first, January, I'd say Megan. I also watched this movie just today, but I personally loved it. Well, this month's complicated because 1917 had its worldwide release in this month, and I'd say 1917 is better than Megan, but its first release was in December 2019. Instead of January 2020. So let's just say it's a December release, and then I'd say Megan. Man, the Megan movies are so good. Then February is John Wick Chapter 2. There's a lot of good ones from this month. There's also Deadpool. There's Deadpool's the next one. I'd say also Uncharted and Deadpool are close afterwards, but I'd say John Wick Chapter 2's the best of this month. It's not the best of the John Wicks. I've seen 4 out of the. I've seen Ballerina and the first 3 John Wicks. I haven't finished 4 yet. Overall, it's a great continuation from the first film. And then March is Dune Part 2. This is my birth month, and I'd say the Dune Part 2 was amazing movie. Masterpiece. I'd say top 3 all time. Just an amazing movie. Amazing in technically and every way. April's Avengers Infinity War. Man, this movie is a whole lot of fun. This movie is probably one of the most some of the most fun you'll have with a movie. This movie has wild action. This movie is extremely funny. Genuinely some of the funniest things jokes I can think of are from Avengers Infinity War. This is like a great crossover of all these different storylines. If Doomsday wants to beat this, it has extremely hard competition. Then May is Gladiator. This is the first Joaquin Phoenix movie on this list. You'll see a lot more of him later. Gladiator is, I'd say this is the best movie I've seen for the first time in 2025. One of the greatest ever. Amazing acting. Great story especially about corruption, all that stuff. I'd say this is my favorite original. Actually, no, Titanic's an original idea. This would be my second favorite original idea after Titanic. Still amazing. Ridley Scott, thank you so much. June is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This movie was amazing. This is the example of a sequel better than the original. The first one, the first Spider-Verse movie. Don't get me wrong. I really liked it. But I didn't like it nearly as much as other people did. Other people gave it a 97. I'd give it closer to a 77. 20% less on Rotten Tomatoes. But Spider-Verse. This is Spider-Verse. Amazing movie. This is why I'm so hyped for Spider-Verse 3, because it has this amazing film to go off of. Then July is The Dark Knight. I know a lot of people also have The Dark Knight here. I think this had the highest opening for any film back when it released, but then obviously, is dethroned by a bunch of stuff. Me personally, yeah, I haven't seen the Batman movies that had come out earlier before this time, but they seem pretty eh. But I haven't seen them. I know box office wise, except the Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, box office wise and critically they were eh. But yeah, me personally, I loved it. I thought Bale was amazing. Heath Ledger, obviously. So okay, and yeah, I'd say top 5 all time. And then August is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I watched this one on a flight once. I personally loved this movie. Before I watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, so I wasn't truly exposed to the origins of the Planet of the Apes universe. This is a great start to what I consider the greatest trilogy of all time. Yes, I consider the Planet of the Apes trilogy the greatest of all time. A lot to say on animal rights and all that stuff. And basically, it talks a lot about colonialism and all that stuff. It's basically a lot like Avatar does, which makes both of those so amazing. Okay, September is The Substance. This one is this is probably the most recent. This is probably one of the most recent releasing of these. Yeah, I think this is the most recent releasing of these films. September has some good stuff. Not anything like giant. Well, it does have some great stuff though. It has like The Substance and Shang-Chi and I think Deepwater Horizon. I mean this is like a great a greatly told or like an important lesson told in such an amazing way. It's an amazing movie. October is Joker. This also holds the record for the highest October opening. It certainly deserves it. This is the greatest R-rated film of all time, in my opinion. Sixth best film of all time. Joker, Joaquin Phoenix is best, and he's addicted to good movies. Amazing retake on the villain we all know and love, Joker. Honestly, when I was watching it, I felt bad for him. Amazing movie. Like this deserves best picture. Parasite was a masterpiece. But Joker, how can this not win best picture? November's Napoleon, another Joaquin Phoenix movie. It's crazy because this movie came out a week before Godzilla -1, and you know how much I love Godzilla -1. I didn't like, or I wasn't interested in Napoleon back then when it released the movie. I watched it like almost a year after it released, like in November of like 2024 or like October of 2024, and gosh, I loved it. I think that was like my first Joaquin Phoenix movie that got me exposed to him. Amazing movie, amazing acting from Joaquin Phoenix. Again, he's addicted to it. Another this is the second Ridley Scott film. I think probably second place would also be another Ridley Scott film, Gladiator 2. And amazing movie. And lastly, we gotta save the best for last. Titanic for December. December is by far the greatest month in cinema history in terms of the movies that were released. Like, we had Titanic, we had Spider-Man No Way Home, we had Godzilla -1, we had Avatar, we had 1917, Avatar: The Way of Water, or technically 1917's first release, remember, like I said earlier. Amazing, just a bunch of great movies, or like historically great movies released this month. Also, Her released a bunch of amazing stuff. But obviously Titanic is my favorite film, so I'd say Titanic's the best movie from December. That'll be all for today's video on the best movie of each month of the year. Drop down in the comments your favorite movie from each of the months of the year. Because some of these months are pretty packed, while others are like a lot weaker. Like January is a weaker month, but it did have some gems. Or February also, but like we also had some strong ones. Oh yeah, check out my channel for more content like this, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.